A deadly disease or infection is never something to play around with. If left unchecked, it can spread throughout the body and cause major harm, and sometimes even death. Well, in Paul's second letter to Timothy, he equates false teaching with being just like that, though perhaps, or really even worse, because it attacks the spiritual health rather than the physical. He tells Timothy, avoid irreverent and empty speech, since those who engage in it will produce even more godlessness, and their teaching will spread like gangrene. Your translation may say like cancer. You think back to when COVID was first on the scene, and regardless of your thoughts from a political perspective, the truth is we all took measures we needed to in order to try to remain healthy and safe. Well, so it is with false teaching that would seek to distort or dismantle what God has said in His Word. Specific to this situation was the denial of a bodily resurrection for believers. There were those who said that, hey, that was more theoretical, it's already done with. And Paul says, avoid that like the plague, because guess what? It is a plague. It may be something else in your life, right? Something like the prosperity gospel. It says, believe in Jesus and God will grant you all the material and physical desires of your heart. And if He doesn't, you just got to have more faith. We may see someone question the deity of Christ, right? That, well, He's not actually God's Son. He didn't actually live a perfect life. Look, we could chase all those rabbits, but whatever we hear, we must always weigh it and measure it against God's revealed Word. That's why Paul says to Timothy, let everyone who calls on the name of the Lord turn away from wickedness. At the end of the day, truth stands firm in a culture of confusion. Run from false teaching. Run to Jesus. Change begins in you.